Okay, hey everyone, welcome to the Builder Bunker here in New York. So it's Friday, so every Friday we have our meetup, so thanks for everyone for coming. And generally what we do, we ask projects in the community who are kind of building on BNB Chain to come and demo their project, open forum, get some feedback, ask some questions, and just kind of build together. And a bit of context about the Builder Bunker here in New York. It's a Yeezy Labs and BNB Chain kind of collaboration for builders, developers, founders working on BNB Chain to come collaborate together and kind of build. So if you want more information, I believe on YouTube in the description there'll be some link, or you can come and talk to us. So today we've got Reveal, we've got Adrian here who has just landed from Chicago, literally got off the train, jumped straight here. So thanks for coming in. Thank you for everything. And today, yeah, he's going to give us a quick demo and update on what he's building, and then there'll be an opportunity to kind of ask some questions.
Sounds good.
So over to you. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here. With Reveal, we're Yeezy Labs. I should update this slide actually to have Yeezy Labs logo, but we're Yeezy Labs portfolio company. And with Reveal, the goal is really to build a universal stablecoin ID. We believe there's an opportunity to build the equivalent of what Zelle might be in the U.S. Since we're here in New York, you all probably know about it, but this bank-to-bank account-to-account transaction system that works in the U.S. and you've got equivalents pretty much in every country. As stablecoins become more predominant, we think there's an opportunity to build Zelle for stablecoins so that you can transact between stablecoins on devices. Maybe really quickly about a few different topics, but we've got a great team of builders experienced in traditional finance and crypto and venture building. I work with Andy Paribas and the Wood Digital Ventures, and have been building crypto now for 20 years. I think what's most interesting about stablecoins to me is that although they're clearly the new payments rails and the payments rails of the future, they're also hyper fragmented. To some extent, even more fragmented than traditional payment rails. On DeFi Llama, there are 250 different stablecoins that are listed, and obviously each stablecoin is deployed on dozens of networks, right? And so you multiply that, and you get the fragmentation that you see here. So it's really insane, and that leads to like a terrible user experience. If you've done stablecoin to stablecoin transactions, you've probably had messages like this where you're like texting, hey, can I send you USDT? No, I want USDT. Can I send you on Base? No, I want to be paid on BNB Chain, etc. Right? So the thing is, today a lot of the payments are what we call stablecoin sandwich, right? So they start in fiat, they move on chain to stablecoin, maybe cross border, and that's how it comes to fiat. As we see more and more companies launch their stablecoins, we think more and more transactions will just stay in stablecoins, right? And the Genius Act that just passed here in the U.S. is obviously going to facilitate the entry to market for financial institutions, and so we're going to see further fragmentation and incentives for customers to hold their balances in stablecoins. And so the question for us is then, how does a PayPal user who's holding PYUSD transact with a Binance user who's holding USDC on BNB, for instance, right? We need to make that transaction super simple. And so that's why we've built PayID. We call it the first universal stablecoin ID, which really abstracts the entire transaction experience so that you can simply tag the recipient, send whatever stablecoin you're holding, and they can receive what they want. Right? So I might just tag Mohit, send, I don't know, USDC on Base, and he'll receive USDT on BNB because that's what he wants to receive. The stablecoin market's blowing up, but I'll sort of pass over that very quickly and jump directly to one of the ways that we're bringing this PID to market. We're actually rolling out our own agent, Riva AI, which users can connect to social media platforms, and they can then simply, with a message, basically initiate a transaction. Under the hood, we obviously use PID. And so, not only are we just extracting sort of the cross-chain, cross-stablecoin transaction, but we're also making it super easy to send money to anyone with a simple message. So maybe I'm gonna show you, very quickly what the platform looks like. Let's see, yeah. This works. All right, so we're on our website here. People can just search for a PayID and register it. So I don't know, maybe I want to champ, right? And then I can go and register that that PID. I'm actually going to show you an existing PID, which is the one from Andre on our team. So I signed it to his account just to show you this. You can see all the transactions that have occurred, but where the magic really happens is in what we call routes. So here is where you decide what type of stable coins you want to receive. So I might say, I might call this route all on BNB. And I might say any USDT, USDC that's coming in from all networks, sent from any wallet, should automatically be swapped to, let's say, USDT on Binance Smart Chain, right? And then sent to my wallet here. So if I create this route, now any USDT or USDC incoming from any of these networks will automatically be delivered to Andre in USDT on BNB, right? And so he's set up his account.
I don't think there was something.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully this works a little better. So now his account is fully set, and that's pretty much how you create your account. Then what we can do is, I'm connected to my own account here, and actually I'll just show you the Riva AI terminal. So this is my account. I've connected my own PayID, which is Adrian on Riva, and I've got some funds here. I could tell the agent to do a transaction here, but I've also connected my Twitter account. So I can simply go to Twitter and say, hey, Riva, there we go, send 1 USDT on BNB Chain to Andre. All right, and so here I'm sending, actually I'm gonna send USDC on base because he's automatically gonna receive USDT on BNB. So we'll do base and we'll do USDC. So I'm sending USDC on base. Oops, already sent, all right. I guess I just tested that before. I'll try slightly different. There we go. And that's it. I just sent that tweet. The agent on the back end is going to take funds from my account, USDC on base, and it might take a minute to come, but Andre here will receive USDT on BNB. So that's that's pretty much what we've built with PayID. The PayID infrastructure is available through APIs and can be integrated into any application. I think what we find super interesting when we look at sort of the payment landscape is there are a lot of applications in the peer-to-peer space, right? And a lot of players are entering that market. I mean, Kraken just released Crack, and to some extent you can think of the new Base app. And obviously, the Binance wallet, all of these can become consumer peer-to-peer payments apps. However, there really aren't a lot of embedded infrastructure for consumer peer-to-peer transactions. You've got national players like Zelle in the US and PayNow in Singapore and Twint in Switzerland and Pix in Brazil, UPI in India, and so on and so forth. But there is no global player, and that's really the market we're going after. I think I will keep it at that for now, and I'm happy to answer any questions that that might come up, or we can just have a conversation around how payments are evolving.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for your time and everything. Does anyone have any questions at the moment? Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So that's a very great project, and I love the ideas. And your project could help user a lot to make the transaction very seamless and for the payment. And I'm very curious about how you map a user ID. I love the ideas of the Vera agent. So how did you map the username ID from a Twitter or social media account to a personal address,
Yeah.
and how the agent validate the transaction? For example, if I type wrongly, and how it solved that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great question. So in terms of mapping, we basically have a data layer
Mhm.
where we can tie in social media accounts, email, phone numbers, eventually a bunch of different information to a specific user to make sure that we identify the recipient properly.
Mhm.
And then in that data layer, we also hold all their preferences, right? Such as the routes that I showed. So, what stablecoin they want to receive. And I didn't go very deep into the routes, but you can really build pretty specific flows. Like I could say when Reveal sends me funds, that's my salary. Maybe I want it eventually to be automatically off-ramp to my bank account, right? I could do very specific flows like that. So all of that sits in our data layer, and that's part of how we identify the recipient. Then what the agent does is really translate that initial command, natural language command, into an actual some metadata for the transaction, right? Based on the data we have in that layer as well.
I see. Yeah, interesting. Another question is that are there any commission for the transaction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are, and they're really linked to just the cost of swapping or bridging, if that applies. Like sometimes it doesn't, right? Because you might be sending exactly the stablecoin that the recipient wants to receive, in which case there isn't. But there can be some small fees there. What we are discovering as we have more and more volume, process, and we've already done 3.5 million in volume in the agent in just the last 2 months since launching the agent. So what we're learning is that depending on what stablecoins, what networks, the fees vary a little bit, right, based on slippage and all that. And so when right now we have USDT, USDC on pretty common L2s, liquidity is really good, slippage is minimal, and the fees are really pretty low. So if you're using BNB Chain, for instance, like liquidity is really good, you're going to see minimal fees.
I see.
So the user will bear with the fluctuation between the USDC and USDT, right? The user is the one who bear with that fee, right?
Yeah. So the one who initiates the transaction pays that fee.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
So if I want to send you $100,
yeah.
I might pay 150 cents or something.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty low. It might even be lower than that, and you receive $100.
Okay.
I see. Yeah. Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Great presentation. Love your product. Just wondering, I guess your product's like more to retail, right? So what's your go-to-market strategy? Just wondering in general.
Yeah, that's a great question. We've identified an opportunity in consumer peer-to-peer. There are a lot of players who are trying to enter the B2B transaction market space, and quite frankly, cross-border B2B is like a great space right now in stablecoins, growing very quickly. We think there's an opportunity in peer-to-peer, and it's based on some of the users we've had on sort of some of our very initial products. We've seen a lot of intranet native communities like gamers, Web3 communities, traders, etc., who sometimes need to transact with friends that they have made online who are in totally different countries, and where stablecoins are a great use case. But they go through that conversation that I was showing before, like agreeing what stablecoin they want to transact on. So we saw that opportunity, and we think that the agent is actually a really interesting way to sort of jumpstart the network effect of users, because it's on social media platforms, so it's sort of social by default, right?
Right.
And so I can, for instance, tag you to send you money. If you don't have an account yet, the agent reaches out to you and says, hey, Adrian's trying to send you some funds. Come create your pay ID so that you can be paid out, right? So the agent kind of does a lot of that onboarding then for us. And that sort of generates a flywheel, right? Initiating a transaction, notifying the user, onboarding the user, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks.
Thanks for the question.
Thank you.
Hi, I really like the stablecoin ID because I saw there are a lot of KYC ID or WorldCoin IDs, but this is great. Basically you're amplifying whatever base they have done within their app, but then now I can do it with anyone. But I feel that people outside of Web3, because I've been in Web3, but then like my friends outside Web3, some of them just so against it. And how do you see that, like the education aspect? Like, so just now I touched on go to market, but I think education is something which is key for stablecoin transaction to grow. So how are you doing the whole education part? Because the idea is great to expand like outside of like the whole Web3 that like I
Yeah.
need the address. Yeah, I'm curious to hear how you solve the education and onboard like more users come in.
Yeah, it's a great question. Thanks. I think you're right. There is a significant education problem in general with Web3, and maybe that's one thing that we as an industry haven't done very well. Is we've created so many complicated terms that it's a little bit off-putting sometimes for newbies or folks who are not initiated. I think one of the things that we realized, and that was based on like first project we're working with a lot of creators, is that we need to simplify and simplify and simplify the user experience until it becomes as similar, if not on par or even better from Web2 products, right? And so we feel like the agent and being able to do social transactions is going in that direction. Obviously, as you've seen now, I'm still entering what stablecoin, I'm still entering what chain. We're slowly taking that out so that the user experience is really just like tag Tom and send 20 bucks and done, right? So we're moving towards that. The ID, I think, is one way to sort of think about payments without having to think about all the underlying codes. In payments, however, people have been used to like numbers and codes, right? They put in their bank account number, their routing number, their SWIFT, and all these codes, right? And then in the peer-to-peer space, part of what has created a lot of success is the simplification of all that through just a username, right? In Venmo and Cash App, etc. One of the things that we've done and how we've built PayID is that although I can create an ID here, our long-term vision is not that PayID becomes the only like ID. Like we want users to be able to connect different IDs, so it could be email, it could be phone number. Eventually, it could even be your Venmo. Maybe you connect your Venmo, and your Venmo becomes your universal payment ID, right? So we're not trying to compete on the namespace so much as on sort of that universal stablecoin network layer. But to bring it to life, we allow users to create their own ID.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, cool. Well, thank you for the questions. Thank you for the presentation. Yeah, very engaging, very passionate. Appreciate it. Thanks again. Like he literally just jumped off the plane. So thanks so much.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for coming. So yeah, we will reconvene next week for next week's kind of demo day again. So yeah, look forward to seeing everyone next week. Thanks again.
Thanks.
Thank you. Cheers. Appreciate it. Thank you.